Once again, let's reset that playhead to the beginning of the timeline. In the timeline panel near the controllers is a menu that you can use to add fading effects to various tracks. Click on this symbol to show the fade options. The one we're going to use is the fade with color choice, and when you choose that, you get the color swatch available that will allow you to choose what color that you see. I'm going to click on that swatch, and I do want to use a light gray. And to apply a fade, it says right here at the top, you have to drag to apply. So that I can see some things, I'm going to collapse some of these triangles because it's the desktop layer that I am interested in, and it was hard to see that. So now I'm going to go back to that fading area, and I'm going to drag and drop right onto the desktop track. And now I have added this fade. This ramp symbol you see is controlling this fade, so if I go ahead and click play, what you're going to see is the desktop image fades into view, and then everything else continues. If I increase this size so I can see these thumbnails a little bit better, if I wanted to get rid of the fade, I would click on that and hit delete. I can also use this to change the duration of the fade if I want it to take longer or shorter for it to achieve the visual. All right, go ahead and save your document. At the very bottom of the timeline panel is an audio track. You can click and hold on this little musical note symbol, and there's a menu to allow you to add your audio. Inside of the folder that contains the files for this lesson is an MP3 file. Let's go ahead and bring that in. Now I'm going to make my thumbnails smaller because when you bring in an audio file, its track is automatically the length of the audio. So this thing has extended out now to 80 seconds. So I can grab this and pull it back so the audio is the length of my video. Now notice the other thing that happened is the black and white adjustment also was out that far, but as soon as I resized my soundtrack, everything now is stopping again at that 12-second area. All right, I'm going to enlarge those thumbnails a little bit again so I can see things a little better. And at the end of that audio track is a triangle symbol. If you click and hold on this, it brings up a menu for options for the audio. Go ahead and experiment with fading in and fading out timing. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to have it take a second to fade in and have it take a second to fade out. Notice you also could increase or decrease the volume of the audio if that's what you needed to do. And now when I set my playhead back at the beginning and I go ahead and play, make sure your sound is on for your laptop. So notice how it did fade in and do the fade out instead of just abruptly starting and stopping. You can mute an audio track simply by clicking on this little symbol down here for the audio track. So if you're still in the repositioning phase and you don't want to keep hearing that over and over again, you can mute it with this button, and then when it's not muted, you're going to hear the soundtrack. So one thing I want to point out about this soundtrack, you don't actually see the audio wave itself. Other software will allow you to see the audio wave, which sometimes helps in the positioning of elements at a specific spot. But in Photoshop, you're just going to have to experiment around to get the desired result.